Okay, once again, thanks very much everybody for joining us for this post-match press conference. We're joined by Eoin Morgan, England captain, following England versus Australia. We will take questions from the room first before going over to Zoom. So can I please see some hands in the room, please, for questions?
Okay, we'll go John and then Adam. Go ahead, John.
Hello, Eoin. I guess you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's pretty convincing win. Obviously starting the tournament as well as we did in the first two games. Not easy games, but I thought the guys played really well. Today, coming into it, you'd expect a really tough test, and we always do when we play against Australia. I thought we bowled again brilliantly and fielded brilliantly, and put Australia under pressure, created opportunities earlier probably than we have done in the past. But it just goes to show how well that we have bowled and adapted to conditions, and even not letting them get away to a score that might have been, a bit more of a tricky chase, say a 140 or a 150. I thought the bowlers did a great job.
Has Jos ever hit the ball more sweetly than that?
There's actually a game that we were talking about while he was, going bananas out there, back in 2016, where he scored I think it was a 43 or 46 ball 100 against Pakistan here in a 50-over game, where very similarly he just seemed to hit the middle of the bat over and over again. He's obviously one of the best players in the world, and when he comes off like today, it's very difficult to stop him.
3 wins out of 3, all chasing. I mean, would you like to win a game batting first?
I think we're going to have to throughout the tournament. We've spoken about it, what might change, if anything. But the thing that I liked about the way that we played today was conditions didn't change, Dew didn't come in. We continue to try and play our way, and not try and pace our run. Unless we get pegged back, still try and come hard, and guys did that.
Hi Eoin, week in, you're making it look easy. Does this England side have anything or anyone to fear?
Here, I think every game that we go into, we pay every opposition the amount of respect that they deserve, regardless of the name of the country on their shirt. I think that's why we can perform probably more consistent than we have done in the past. And I think sort of moving forward, it's always a matter of looking at ourselves and testing ourselves to try and continue to get better, as opposed to looking at opposition.
And just on yourself, you've only had to face 7 balls all tournament. Do you think that's a measure of how good your captaincy's been in the field?
Yeah, obviously captaincy's only reflected on performance of the players within the side. We've had a really good run of it so far. I think the whole of our top 7, 8 guys we will need at some stage. We go to Sharjah in 2 days' time, and then again, I think it's in 5 days' time on Saturday, where we'll probably be taking more out of our comfort zone than we have been both here and Abu Dhabi. So again, another challenge that we're looking forward to.
And is rotation on your mind over the next 2 games?
No.
And what about the decision on not using Moeen with the ball today? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's just a reflection on my captaincy. The matchups at the time didn't suit. They do suit for some of the Australian players, but they were already dismissed. And I thought that worked really well. Moeen is quite a relaxed guy and knows the role that he plays, both before the game and during the game. That's always communicated across all of the bowling unit. We try and adapt and talk about what might work on the wicket against different players. And today, fortunately, he wasn't needed.
We'll take one more in the room from Dean Wilson and a few off Zoom. Go ahead, Dean.
Even though you play Australia quite a lot, I don't imagine you get those kind of results very often against them. When you're out there in the middle and it's all going so well, can you stop and enjoy it at all? Can you kind of think about how much fun you're having?
I think as hard as I try, I struggle to, just knowing that you're playing against such a strong side, and they bat really deeply. And when Finchy bats with the guys down the order, there's always that element of how much he can hurt you if he gets going. And the difference of 1 over can be the difference in a game. So I thoroughly enjoyed the chase, and I'm enjoying myself now. But at the time, I'm trying to manoeuvre things that restricts the total that we're chasing to the minimum amount.
And just on Jos, quickly again, down the years, people have called him a freak and a genius and all these things we've seen through his performance. Is he taking the game to a new level, do you think? Do you think that he's showing us things that even surprise you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's certainly one of our players, and there are a few of them that are at the forefront of change in the game. They're not he's one of the best players in the world, but yet he's still trying to improve his game and get better against every single bowler that he faces. It's not just targeting bowlers that might suit him, it's every bowler. So when you've got guys that are at the forefront of change within the game and like positive change, taking the game forward type stuff, it says a lot about the guy.
Okay, we've got a few requests on Zoom. We'll just take one each from the following. Let's go with David Charlesworth first, and then Matt Roller. Go ahead, David.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, Eoin. Given the way you started the tournament, have you reassessed your opinion about being second favourites, or do you still think that's the case?
I still think that's the case. Obviously, chasing in all three games has its advantages. I think the way that the bowlers have bowled has been outstanding. The favourites in the tournament have only played one game. You can't just judge one team on one particular game, so they probably have a lot more to show as conditions probably get tougher.
Okay, let's go to Matt Roller and then Scott Bailey.
Yeah, hi Eoin. Could you just speak a bit, please, about Chris Wokes' spell with the new ball and his performances across the tournament?
Yeah, Wokesy's been excellent. I think over the years, his strengths, have been epitomised tonight. He's one of the best new ball bowlers in white ball cricket in the world. He's accurate, his pace is up. He's very confident in his all-round skills. It's not just about hitting a line in length or trying to get the ball to move. In our first game that we played here, he bowled a beautiful slower ball to dismiss Evan Lewis. So the growth within his game is huge, even though he's been right on top of it over the last 4 or 5 years.
Let's go with Scott, please.
Yeah, Owen, did you get flashbacks at all to the 2019 World Cup semi-final, the way that game started, especially with Chris Wokes doing the job early, and then even with Jason and Jos doing the job of the bat so aggressively at the top of your end?
Not really, just different challenges. I think our record at Edgbaston is incredible and had been in the lead into that World Cup for the last 4 years. We take a lot of confidence playing at that venue and on that wicket. Obviously a different challenge here against a side who's trying to adapt as hard as we are to conditions. So just a different feeling with the two different games.
And then we'll take 3 more, starting with Arkham and then Rohit Juglan, please.
Morgan, most matches have been low scoring, around like 130s, 140s. Do you have a better idea about the pitch? And do you foresee some more runs being scored, and especially when we're going to the semi-finals and finals, maybe 170, 180? Do you see that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think with the semi-finals and finals being Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and then Dubai, you'd probably foresee the average scores being probably around par, so between 160 and 170, maybe a little bit higher depending if the dew comes in. But as far as Sharjah goes, we haven't seen a really flat wicket at Sharjah, so I think it'll just continue to be challenging.
Okay, Rohit, and then we'll finish with Lewis. Go ahead, Rohit.
Thank you, and congratulations. From here to Sharjah, I know it's early, but you played match game there as a KKR captain. Tell us how much confident are you for that venue, especially for that venue, especially the way your spinners are bowling.
Yeah, I actually don't think that you just have to have good spinners to do well at Sharjah. I think you need to have good seamers as well. During the IPL, we sort of did both. with two really good spinners, but also we had good quicks in amongst it. And the wickets that we did play on had variable bounce that actually favoured the seamers a little bit more. So within our England squad, we do have options that we will look to use and trying to adapt both against Sri Lanka and South Africa.
And last one, Lewis, thank you.
Hi, Eoin. There was a bit of a suggestion tonight that Australia, a bit of a limiting factor for Australia might be that they haven't played a whole bunch of T20 cricket together, even though they're made up of, individually talented players. Thinking about your own team, is the familiarity with roles, coming into a tournament, is that particularly important?
I think roles in any side is very important. I think the only time that we've had a full strength T20 side over the last 2.5 years was in March in India for 5 games. But apart from that, we haven't had a full strength squad out.
Okay, we're done. Thank you very much, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time. Cheers.